feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hey, how you doing tonight? Manal. Woo! I can't hear you. Are you muted? Yeah, you muted.
I was saying, what was his name? What was you going to call me?
I was getting ready to Jesus.
You was gonna call out a different name.
What's his name? Jesus. What's his name? Jesus.
Whoever he must have left an impression.
Oh, I was gonna call on Jesus. Yes. Yes. How was your Mother's Day, Manal?
You know what? My Mother's Day was really calm and peaceful and relaxing. I still had to get some homework done because we still got to reach the goals. But it was exactly what I needed it to be, quiet. Now next year though, I'm making some noise.
You making some noise? So I take it
I'm making some noise.
You'll be done with your schooling by then.
Well, I'll be finished with my bachelor's, but it's more about learning how to celebrate me. I do really good at making sure that everyone else feels seen, heard, and understood and loved. Thank you, everybody, for the Mother's Day wishes. But what I am having to do and putting pressure on myself to do is also celebrate myself on that same level. And so this year, I was looking around and I was like, what you doing for Mother's Day? What you doing for Mother's Day? What you doing for Mother's Day? And I had a lot of people who are really sad because motherhood has taken so much out of them. And I related to that. I related to that energy, that face, that exhale. I related and I said, not next year. Next year, I am going to celebrate me. I'm going to celebrate my progress. I'm going to celebrate my motherhood, whatever it was and is.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I definitely like that. I do. Ooh. This past weekend was amazing for me. I went and watched Not Another Church movie. And that movie was hilarious. Hey, Nikita. Hey, boo.
Hey.
That movie was hilarious. Whoever wrote that movie definitely does not like Tyler Perry.
I can't.
But they stood on business. A lot of what they said was true. It was absolutely true, but they stood on business. They don't like that man. Other than that, my Mother's Day was good. I was able to get my mom a little something nice and do a little yang.
Now, did y'all do the dinner in person, the big family dinner, and get around mama? No, okay. You sent a pigeon instead?
So yeah, I had sorry. I had a lot of homework to do. Hey, my fam is in here. I had a lot of homework to do this past weekend, so I wasn't able to attend the festivities. And I normally I would not put a cough drop in on the screen, you all, but today I'm having some congestion issues. So I had to do homework instead of attend the festivities. I'm becoming reacclimated to my family, and I've come to find out over the years, I guess they know me, but they don't know who I have become. I'll put it like that. And so, everything ain't Jesus anymore. Yeah. Absolutely. So I like what Nikita says. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I put me first. My identity is not that important. Sorry, a mother. Okay, I get
Yeah,
it. I get what she's
yeah,
saying. Yeah, she takes
yeah.
care of herself. She says, correction, I messed that up. I meant motherhood is not my identity. It's okay to put me first. Absolutely. I think that goes along the lines of if you're not good for, you can't be good for anyone else. And
Absolutely.
so I know what she's saying there. And we're not going to go left. And I'm not even going to put no qualifying statement. I totally get what she's saying. If you
Mhm.
don't, then you have to take a look in the mirror yourself. But I see my family in here tonight. What's up? Connection. Connection. All right. Tonight. Hey
Hey.
Angie. My sister's in the building. Yes. Um, so this week, we have an amazing show lined up for you. Tonight we're talking about culture. We want to be clear about Black culture. What is culture and what is stereotype? You know, and I think we have to be clear about a few things, and we do have to accept a few things now. We do. But I do feel like we need to be clear about some other things. Some things were put on us, but it's definitely not us. Hey, 20. Um, it's not who we are as a people. It was put on us. And I think we have to begin and be adamant about being clear that this is not us. And then there's some stuff that we have allowed to consume our identity, but we are more than just that. But we'll get
Absolutely.
a minute later. Every week we start with a class and an ass of the week. The class is someone who is allowing their Black to shine through. It is someone who is walking in their excellence. I want to encourage you before we go further to let your Black shine through. Who was it that said Black all by itself? Armani. Black all by itself is luxury. I love it's because we begin to
I didn't
realize
know
the
that one.
value that we have on ourselves. So this week, our class of the week is none other than Jade Cargill. Now, other than just being an amazing body, someone amazing to look at, Jade Cargill is a professional wrestler and fitness model. Um, she was discovered by Mark Henry, who was noted as the strongest man in the world by the WWE. But she was discovered by them, and then she was initially turned away, right? Rather than quitting and giving up and taking their no, she went to a smaller company, turned it up so much there. Now, she went to a small company and she ended up on daytime television. This is why you don't play with Black women. This is
Don't tell
why,
us now.
right? This is why you don't play with a determined Black woman. Told her no. She ended up on daytime television, getting better ratings than the people from the larger company. So much so till they went begging her to come to the WWE. And she is now there. And she's, of course, the critics are always gonna have something negative to say, but she definitely turned it up, and she's definitely being respected as one of the largest signs that they've had in a while. So big ups to Jade Cargill. Anything you want to add to this, Manon?
Other than the fact that she is gorgeous as hell. I actually, so I was one of those kids that grew up watching wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell off because I think as I got older, I didn't see people that look like me.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you got Jade on there, and there's another
Bianca.
lady.
Bianca,
There we
uh-huh.
go. Now that they're on there, they might make me tune back in. You know,
Right.
they might be
Absolutely.
bringing us back. She's gorgeous, and I agree with you, Walter. When you tell the right wrong Black woman no,
Right.
she about to change the world and bring about 80 people with her.
Right.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So big ups to Jade Cargo. We celebrate you and your beauty. She is married, by the way, to well, I'm gonna say a beautiful black man, but a handsome, strong black man, and they have a beautiful daughter that she takes with her. She's been in the ring several times. I just love it. I love black love, and we celebrate this black queen. Yay, you, yeah. Now, for every positive, there is a negative. Okay. I want you to know that your car goes nowhere without the positive and the negative charge, right? There's no movement without both. That's just not, it's just not a thing. So this week, the class is Jade Cargo, but the ass of the week, someone who showed their ass, Auntie Anita Baker.
I don't even like this, Walter, but it's okay. It's okay.
Auntie Anita Baker. No.
Mm-mm,
So
I don't
this
like
is
it.
what happened over the Mother's Day weekend.
Ugh.
She had a concert scheduled in Atlanta, and the people was there. The people was ready, and 15 minutes before the concert started, Auntie Anita packed her. Well, she wasn't there. I don't know where she was. There's reports saying that she wasn't in the state. There's some people saying that she just wasn't there. There's others just saying she just didn't feel like doing it. So we don't know
What
what the
really
truth
happened?
is, right? We just know
Okay.
that the concert got canceled 15 minutes before it got, before it was supposed to get started. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What?
Dr. Ho says, girl, I wish Patty would do that. I would be pissed. Absolutely. But you see, Patty LaBelle one thing Patty LaBelle gonna do is show up and sing. She might throw up on stage, but she
I
gonna
can't.
sing.
I
She
can't.
might pass out because she shouldn't have been up there in the first place, but she gonna sing.
She gonna pass out here that one note.
Yeah. But Anita Baker, the people are upset with her. People are on internet calling her bald head ass out. Like they are just really, really,
That's
talking about her and her
crazy.
unkept wig. And you know, I am done. Dr. Ho says, Nita, you need to take your advice and say, I apologize. I absolutely agree. At this point, because this is becoming a thing with her, she needs to issue some type of statement giving some type of clarity. Just saying due to unforeseen circumstances is
It's
not
not
good
enough,
enough.
especially when
Right.
people spend their money, they
At
take their time. Somebody took off from work,
on
okay?
a holiday like Mother's Day, right?
Right. Somebody gifted their mama some Anita.
Right. Right. Somebody thought they was gonna be able to get some because their mom was gonna be at the concert.
Right.
And you send them back home. You're getting in the way of love,
Too
Anita. You're
early.
getting in the way of love. Angela Burnett from YouTube says she's old, y'all. She's old now. Absolutely.
I mean, I
And
agree.
she could have got her old ass on stage and said, I apologize.
I mean, or get you a killer lineup so you may not have to sing the entire
Right.
show. You know?
Absolutely.
Mm.
They were trying to get some man love, oh, man love. That's my theme song for gay love, you all. Yeah. So man love, oh, man love. So we definitely. I'm annoyed with this attitude. You know who else got this kind of attitude? Lauryn Hill.
So that's who came to my mind actually. I was like, she her auntie for real. What's up with this? There has to be some real backstory.
I feel like after you've been famous for so long, you start to feel entitled. For you to be hours late and look at your audience and say, y'all better be happy y'all showed up. No, heifer, we paid to come. And you're being disrespectful on our dime.
Now,
That's how I feel about it. I'm
okay,
gonna
see,
always feel
now
like that.
I'm a Dr. Holt. It gotta be something else. I
You
don't
feel like she got
see
just a touch,
she got a touch
just
of
a touch of,
something going on. And
just a
they may not
touch.
be letting it out to the public, but
Mm-mm.
they whoever is running her or her manager, whoever, they need to stop booking her things
Well,
because
since we putting words on the street, can I get that alleged sign one more time? Because
allegedly.
can I get that? I heard that this was because whoever been blowing that back out and having that wig look like that, because she always walking around like she just hopped off of one. She looked like she just hopped off the dick. She felt like she just
Like
and
she still smell
whoever
like sex.
that, I feel like they are the reason why she couldn't do the concert. They got a little too rough in there, and she couldn't get up. And
Got that hip stuck. You know,
the hip had a cramp in it.
that hip. She was trying to throw it on around. Couldn't get it
Absolutely.
all the way around.
She was trying to bring that ass over and they couldn't breathe. That's what she was trying to do. But yeah, whatever. If it is something bad, we definitely send prayers. But I think at this point, we do need an explanation. All right, moving right along, we're getting ready to take a peek into pop culture. There's been a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. We just want to take a peek. We don't want to park here too long. We just want to take a peek. Now, I felt like this was relevant because this is a church story. This is a story about church. And church is a big part of the Black experience here in America. Would you agree, Manal?
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say this. Everything the church has done for the Black community has not been bad. So I'm definitely going to say that.
I agree with that.
I don't dislike or hate my whole time at the church, but I will say my eyes have opened over the years, and I also see that there needs to be an evolution that takes place in the church, in the ideology, in the theology, and I feel like in just the infrastructure of it all needs to be revamped.
Absolutely.
By this time, you've seen the clip that went viral of him snapping at the lady and telling the lady silence.
Right. We talked about it last week.
Silence. Then he said, the only voice I want people to hear is God. And then he walked around and said,
running his mouth.
My hands into
some notes fell out of his face.
In other words, he's saying, Heifer, you're not God. I'm God. That's what I got from that.
Me and God hold hands running through a field, actually.
I'm God, and I need you to hear all of this right here. I felt like that's what he was saying. Well, he went on the Tamron Hall. Did you say you're
bottom? Did you say you bottom and you need to hear all of this? Is that what you just said?
No, I didn't. But I feel like you're hearing. I feel like she heard something in the spirit.
You need to hear all of this. Baby. Okay, go.
So he went on the Tamron Hall show. When he got on the Tamron Hall show, he said that he had been dealing with this from this woman for 4 years. Mm-hmm. This woman has done this for 4 years. Now, at face value, if you believe everything somebody says, you go ahead on and you like, you know what, hey, she deserves it. Sit her down. Sit her ass down, right? That's what you think. If you could you please play the clip? Production let us know that they have the clip. Can you please?
I love that Shawnee said you do this great job of merging culture, meaning the world, with what happens within the confines of the church. That's your mission. How did you go viral this weekend?
Oh my God! Oh, the noise.
Can I show it?
Yeah,
okay.
Show it. You can
Before
show
we
it.
talk about how amazing your beautiful first lady is, I'm on my social media. My cousin lives in Houston, and Katie, she says, Pastor Keon is trending. I was like, what happened?
Right.
She said, go on the shade room. I said, the shade room? Let me play this moment. Let's play it.
Hey. Stop her. Hush, hush.
So the backstory was there was a woman and you could hear her making audible sounds. You turn around, you say, that hush.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, don't ma'am me.
Yeah.
I always tell people a snippet of video is not the total story. Yeah. So tell me what happened there.
Well, you know, social media is into cuts, not context.
Yeah.
And every suggestion that I got from every naysayer, I've already done. This is a 4-year battle, right?
Oh, this is ongoing.
This is ongoing. So I've already talked to her personally. I'd already had ushers go up to her. I've already had prayer warriors. I've had everything. So she did it publicly after being asked not to.
What is she? Is she cry? Is an emotional?
Well, you know, as a pastor, I know the difference between disturbance and worship. And what people have to understand, is that every time you hear a noise in church, it isn't worship. And so there has to be order. For instance, it's okay to applaud in this room right now. But if somebody got up and just started clapping right now, I'm sure somebody would bring order to the room.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I brought order to the room so people could hear God and not her. And I'd do it again if I needed to.
Wow. I love that.
Don't you bring no bullshit in here. That is absolute bullshit.
Look.
Don't you bring no bullshit in here. Don't you bring no bullshit in here. Don't you?
Hey, look, Walter.
I absolutely, I'm calling bullshit. And the reason why I'm calling bullshit is 4 years ago was 2020.
During
we
COVID.
were in we was in a whole ass shutdown. There was no church. We wasn't going to church nowhere.
I like how you check your math, Walter. I love how you check your math and you
Because
critically think.
I was sitting here
what people say.
4 years, because at first I was like, 4 years, that's a long time. You should have been dealt with this.
Absolutely.
Because like, why is she up there? Why is she in the mic? You know, okay, there's that. But then I'm like, wait a minute, 4 years ago, wasn't nobody in church. What the hell is going on between the sheets in that home? It's some bullshit. And I think he got caught in a moment thinking too high of himself than he ought, as you know, to think. And what happens when a church doesn't have solid infrastructure, things like this happen. This happens a lot of times when a space is personality centered instead of spirit centered.
Absolutely.
If it was spirit centered, you know, there would have been a way to deal with it in a more spiritually, in a more palatable way. But since it's personality driven, the personality had to address what was going on. But what were you going to say? I'm sorry, Manon, I just kept running my mouth.
No, you're good. I think the video was kind of laggy, so I'm trying to follow you as I can. But to his point, I do agree that when you are in a sanctuary and worship is going on, if you are in tune with spirit at that time, you can absolutely tell the difference between individuals who are in the same space as you and those that are just putting on a show. That I do know. That I do understand. But in my experience in church, you had individuals who were prayer warriors. You had individuals who were intercessors. You had individuals who were just lay members, but they were in tune. You know, they didn't want no title. They're just children of God.
Absolutely.
And they would approach that individual differently. And so, to your point, you know, every space needs to have order. Right. Every space needs to have a structure and an infrastructure that says if this occurs, this is what happens, right? And for his church to be as big as it is, for his church to have been around as long as it has, and for him to be in ministry so long, I don't understand why. Again, this situation even had to happen. There wasn't a room that she could be taken to. There weren't any prayer warriors that came to assist. Is it that the church gets so big and it gets so mega where we don't have these type of individuals anymore? I don't know. I go to the small neighborhood church. My point is I agree with you. That 4-year thing was some bullshit. But also there's a whole other story that's not being told. We missing some things.
Right. Hold on. Put that Shervin Smith. Put his comment up here because he came through here last week. First off, this ain't no Bible study. Okay. Now, you made the comment. You know nothing about the spirit because you guys are just putting on a show. First off, you don't know me and Manal. You don't know our pedigree or our history. Okay. So I'm just going to shut that all the way down right there. Number two, This is not a Bible study, so we're not here to line up with the Word of God. We're talking about culture and things regarding Black culture, things that are things that have hurt the Black culture, and preachers with this. Oh, I don't think so, because last week he was getting on my damn nerves, but I'll give him that. All right.
Were you talking about Keon? Were you talking about Pastor Keon? Shervin? Is it Shervin? What's your name? Irvin Shervin?
So, absolutely. The Bible says those who are led by the Spirit of God are my children. Examine yourself. Nah, he talking shit. And
I like how he said examine yourself, and yet he trying to read somebody. I understand.
Right.
But this is the hypocrisy and the shenanigans that church people fall into. We just can't do it no more. We can't do it no more, y'all.
When we go into Christian spaces, church spaces, and we're gonna move on, we tend to check our brain at the door in the name of things have to be done decently and in order, or the things of the Spirit are spiritually discerned. And if you can't discern them correctly,
it's not even that.
You don't have
they check their brains at the door out of responsibility to personalities and to religion. That's why they check their brains at the door. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything spiritual. They feel like in this space, I can turn off and I can allow somebody to dictate how I move, because in all actuality, I feel like I'm powerless. In all actuality, I feel like I can't control nothing. In all actuality, I feel like the man of God is supposed to be the one who is lording over my life, because he's someone who is tangible, and he is someone that I can hear, see. And 9 times out of 10, they got a little crush on the pastor.
That part. How you plant the seed matters. Absolutely. And I'm gonna say this: I didn't feel any love coming across when he told old girl to shush. I felt like this was a floor show. This was, a big me, little you moment. This was let me turn this into a, let me turn this into a elevate me moment. That's what I felt. That's what I got from it. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time there. We've given him way too much of our time tonight. We're getting ready to get into the things. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Black culture versus stereotypes. And we really want to break this thing down. No one's a know-it-all, but we definitely want to be clear about things. When you see these companies, I want you all to support these companies. If you own a business and you want to advertise, maybe Kwame can put information up about how you can advertise on the Pyro Media Network. I know I have some entrepreneurs that are watching tonight. Go ahead and take us away for a commercial break, Kwame.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
Elevate your entertainment with Watch Vim. Discover the ultimate online streaming destination. Get an auto-renewing monthly subscription for unlimited content on all devices. Join us in supporting a Black-owned streaming platform that brings top-tier entertainment. Let the streaming excitement begin at Watch Vim, your seamless experience for endless entertainment. Stream online or download the Watch Vim app now.
Because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
Hey pilots, did you know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bulletin Flight Radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bulletin Flight Radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play Bulletin Flight Radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bulletin Flight Radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bulletin Flight Radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bulletin Flight Radio.
Yeah, God. I'm happy to be back. Let me just take a minute and brag real quick about Pyro Media. For those of you who do have media needs, I support Pyro Media. I really, really do. They have always been gentle and caring with me. I'm going to say this, okay? I'm a big dude, meaning, size-wise. I'm a big dude. And they have never shown me in an unflattering light. They have never made me feel uncomfortable in their spaces. This is definitely a place where everyone, and I say that because I have had unpleasant experience during my time doing media, being a big dude. But they have been welcoming, professional, and so if you have media needs, you definitely want to tap in and get on this here good Pyro Media Network. What were you going to say, Maman? I'm sorry. I feel like I cut you off.
Oh, no, you are fine. I was just going to say ditto. It has been a wonderful experience working with the Pyro Media staff. And when I say they are about their business, they are about their business. Yeah. But they also leave a lot of room for creativity, growth, and development. And so it's a great place to be if you want to start something new.
Absolutely. So definitely want to encourage you all to support. Now, today we're talking about culture versus stereotypes. Black culture versus stereotypes. And I want to be clear about Black culture because what I'm starting to see is a lot of the negative nuances are starting to overshadow a lot of the rich heritage that we do have here in America as people. And so you have people now. I will always reverence our ancestry. Is that a word?
No, you just threw something out there, but it's okay. We're gonna flow with it though.
I will always respect our ancestry. Is that a word?
Ancestry.
Okay, there we go.
Yep, the E.
From Africa, but we also have a rich heritage and a rich identity in this company. Were we, dogged out? Absolutely. Were we done wrong? Absolutely. But we, in spite of that, we were able to create something that is beautiful, that is honorable, that is respectable within ourselves. And for that, I applaud every Black person, both alive and those that have come before us. But what I'm starting to see now is the negative nuances are starting to overshadow the positive foundation that exists there. I see your look. What you got to add or say?
Because for me, I know you're framing it as Black culture versus stereotype, but I look at it like free versus the unfree. There's so many of us who legit don't realize that we are absolutely free. And coonery is not something that we have to engage in anymore.
Okay.
And I live in a state, in a city, where coonery is still the norm.
Okay. Please, for the sake of the conversation, would you mind maybe defining coonery?
So when I say coonery, what I'm talking about is it's the stereotypes. Okay. It's anything that involves us being dumb, anything that involves us being a entertainer instead of a real person, an idea or a caricature versus a real person. The anyone who feeds into the lack of education or not putting an importance on growing your mind and developing yourself, that's coonery. Anyone who feeds into that idea that we should not take care of our minds, bodies, and souls because we just gonna die one day anyway, coonery. Anyone who feels like it is not their responsibility to actually look after the kids that they birth, whether you are male or female, coonery. Like there's just so much bullshit that, like you said, the generations before us put in so much work and effort and fought legitimate wars and shit so that way we could have better opportunities for education, for health, for even just being considered an entire human being. And we have individuals who are still subscribing to the same coonery. You do all of this bullshit on the internet instead of actually feeding your mind some real information. It's problematic.
Oh, girl. Woo! Woo! She spoke a word. Did not our hearts burn within us?
And then you spoon feeding it to your kids and you're trying to have me fix them.
Okay. All right. Woo! We have to unpack that. That was a lot. So what I'm starting to see, and are you familiar with the someone told a lie speech that Martin Luther King gave?
Someone told a lie. No. Tell me about that one.
So I'm going to paraphrase you all. I'm going to paraphrase this, okay? Dr. King said someone told a lie, and they said that everything Black is evil and everything white is good, right? Someone basically told a lie, and he listed, because he was really eloquent with his speech. I dare not go into depth of this. And I think what he was encouraging us to do is not buy into the lie. But I think somewhere along the line, we begin to buy into the lie. And there's a few lies that I want to point out. One of the lies is that we are over-sexualized people. Now, as a sex-positive person, meaning I embrace sex, I embrace sexuality, I encourage people to explore themselves to, the hilt, know to thine own self, be true, in so many words, live and let live. However, when it becomes our identity that we are only known as a sexual people,
or we're taking our 11-year-old daughters to a Sexy Red Nicki Minaj concert. Go ahead, keep going.
When we and when oftentimes I'm an older gentleman now, and so some of my friends have daughters, and they express to me how hard it is to shop for their daughter now in the store because it's in our area, because the outfits are too grown or adult looking for their 11, 12-year-old daughter. And it's because we have embraced the lie so much until we have put out a demand for that over those things. And I don't want to get into respectability politics, but there are some things that I believe should be covered up, and some things that there are some things that are respectable, especially when it comes to children. You're teaching them and training them to be productive adults. And at 10 and 11, they should not be dressing in a certain way, at least in my opinion. By the way, would you all agree, those of you who are watching in the comment section, do you believe that kids can dress too grown? I'm going to put yes in the comment section just so that,
your vote is already counted.
Yes, because I want to be named amongst those who are.
When we get caught up, I just want to make sure I'm on the right side. Okay, sheep or goat. I'm a sheep. So here's the thing though. I absolutely believe that kids can be out here dressing just dressing way too grown. But I also understand that idea of culture, right? Mm-hmm. And culture is different depending on where you grew up. And so when we look at the whole entire diaspora of Black people all around the world, you got people that still, wear grass skirts and bras, and that's their outfit all day long, everywhere. That's their cultural garb. And then on the other side, we got people that are fully wrapped up. And then we come to the United States, where you can literally run the gambit of how people show up culturally dressed. And so in this regard, I feel like this conversation has more to do with your state, your country, your zip code. And I feel like it also has to do with your intentions, because when we're talking about a Black American 10-year-old in LA or in St. Louis, there's no reason for her to be half naked wearing coochie cutters. Now, absolutely. I'm not talking about the white girls that do it. I ain't talking about the Asian girls that do it. I ain't talking about I know all the cultures, all the ethnicity, they all do it. I got it. But right now I'm talking to us.
Right.
We have to start placing limits and boundaries on our kids. Absolutely. And it's not just the girls, because for y'all sitting up here dapping up the 11-year-old boy because he getting him some pussy, he's 11. Right. You need to be telling him to study. Can he read?
Right.
Can he read?
Right. And so,
but he know how to finger somebody.
Yeah, you went there. Yeah. See?
So
tonight, Manal is being Walter, and Walter's being Manal. Yeah, but go ahead.
So, because I live this, and people try to have me fix their kids, and I'd be like, look, at the end of the day, I'm talking to adults that have confused being Black with being lost. And we have now made those things synonymous. And so my thing is that change absolutely has to happen, but it can't start with our kids. We could talk about what the kids is wearing, but parents, why do y'all think it's okay? We could talk about what they're listening to, but why do you think it's okay? We could talk about what they're watching on social media, but why are you allowing it?
Right. So, as it pertains to culture, and so I realize I don't have the influence to change certain things, but I do believe that each of us have a circle of influence. And if each of us were to use that to positively influence what's going on, I absolutely feel like we can begin to change the trajectory. A lot of what is put out for us and pumped to us is done so because that's what the demand is for. For example, can you put that graphic up, the graphic for culture real quick? And also, did you get the video?
Kwame, did you get that video?
So when we think about culture, when I think about culture, you know, there's a lot of things that contribute to the culture. But when you begin to have when we begin to have conversations like this, we see it's typically polluted with things that are not necessarily a part of culture, right? Right. So we're talking about art, drama, and music. We're talking about attitudes, belief, language, customs, ritual, behavior, faith/religion, food, you know, things that contribute to us as a culture. And then a lot of times, aside from what really is, again, now we do have to accept that there are some things, some nuances that we allow to exist, you know. But instead of accepting what really is, we have allowed the media to exaggerate the negative, and we have accepted that as a part of our reality. You know, the big, the loud. I hate to keep bringing this young lady up because she's not just the worst of the worst, but the sexy reds, the Sukianas, you know, this whole city girl culture thing that exists, and that's on the woman's side. But I want you to know that the men are definitely they got their part to play in this as well.
Yeah, I need you to get the men together. Get the men together. What they be doing?
They definitely have their part to play in this. But I think we have to, as a collective, begin to identify what it is to be a Black artist, what is the type of art that we now crave as a culture. I think these are conversations that we need to have, and I think these are movements that we need to start making. Yes, sex sells, but everything does not have to be centered in sex. You feel me? I understand gangster rap is a thing. Gangster rap is a thing, but everything should not be centered around gangster rap, right?
Walter, can we play this clip real quick of these kids? Absolutely. Just because you said it, you said gangster rap. Can we play this?
Absolutely. Can we?
Can't like the way shit. Go, yo. Hey, can't like the wax shit. He love the splash shit. Can't call his favorite off. It happened that quick. Bitch, you play for Boston, bitch. We off you quick. Yo. Chopper shit. I just nigga with that bitch. So I can smack the nigga. ARP, that bitch be trippin'. SIT, that bitch get a spinning. Block 17, that bitch get a wicked. Mickey sliding, skating the city. That bitch say she know she wanna get it. Mid-J boat, you know we spinning. Nookie, this I'm let straight hit him. 1, 2, 3, that bitch get trippin'. And the black truck, it jam inside, and we win. Bitch, I'm a demon. Switch to be seen.
Okay. All right. I'm good. I'm done. Okay.
Woo! Now hold on. My thought about that is the kids need someone to talk to them, but the parents need their ass whooped.
Somebody.
The parent need their ass whooped. Whoever holding the camera need an ass whooping.
Whoever cutting that little boy hair.
Whoever came up with the video concept need an ass whooping.
Whoever let him in the studio. Cut the track.
Now, again, I don't want to stifle creativity, but at some point you got to ask, what is this art saying about them, and what is this art saying about us?
Because why did the little boy talking about somebody coming to smash and calling people bitches?
Yeah, that.
Can he read?
If you wrote those lyrics down, could he read them off the paper?
I mean, does he know his math, arithmetic? Reading, writing, arithmetic. Does he know it?
If you didn't pay him what he was supposed to be paid, would he know?
Does he wash them little filthy ass clothes he done wore in the video? Does he know how to wash?
Not to, and again, I don't want to come at this like I got my shit all together and I got the whole, everything. But at a certain point, we have to take some type of responsibility and ask ourselves, are we really perpetuating the culture that is rich, our culture, Black culture, or are we perpetuating the stereotypes that have been given to us?
Yeah.
By, and I'm going to say it, by our oppressors.
Absolutely.
Right? And again, I'm not about stifling. Them kids obviously have a gift with lyrics, but they can rap about something else, something more age appropriate. And I'm going to take it a step further. Whoever is exemplifying this for them kids need to take a moment of self reflection, because sometimes as a culture, we major on the minor. We major on things that's just so stupid. You're so focused on, I want to teach him to be a man. I want to make sure they ain't gay. I want to make sure they ain't this, and I want to make sure they ain't that, until you perpetuate and push this. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say it. Some of the best sex I've ever had in my life has been with a thug. Maybe I should have said that in Patreon. I mean, it's true.
That bubble came up.
It's true, but I mean, it's so, just because someone is a thug doesn't mean they're going to be straight. It doesn't even mean they're going to be a man. Some of the most
thuggish individuals are straight niggas.
So I'm going to say they don't even know how to stand on business. That's why it goes straight to gunplay. That's why it goes straight to they can't have a conversation because they don't have the character to stand on business.
Development. Yeah.
Can you stand on? I don't even respect preachers that can stand on the word of God, but you can't stand on your own opinion and stand on business. You got to go running behind and so that's one thing that I never had a problem with. I've always been able to sit down and look somebody in the eye and say what the hell it was, period. Whether I got my ass whooped or whether I whooped ass, I was able to do that. And you know where I got that from, though? I got that from a father who was more interested in me being a man, no matter what walk of life I was in. He was more interested in me being a man versus me out here being, a caricature.
And here's the thing, Walter, because we started this out talking about Black culture versus stereotypes.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And some practical things, Walter. What are some practical things that people can evaluate to let them know whether they are leaning too far to the stereotype or they actually are in the path of Black culture? What are some things that they can do?
So, I'm all about. I don't know if you know about the Nguzu Saba. Okay, that is 7 principles.
Like a really good drink.
No, I'm just 7 principles. I learned about it when I was first coming into the knowledge of is it Kwanzaa? Lord, oh my God, my age is getting to me. These were 7 principles that we, as an African American culture,
it's Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa is an African American holiday and tradition. It is not African. This is specifically African American. And there were 7 principles, of course, rooted in Africa, that came from Africa. But one of the principles was I have to ask myself and encourage myself to be a good man, first for me, then for my family, and then for my community, right? Because these are the 3 areas that I have to exist in. You know what? Don't be only telling my business. These are the 3 areas. And I think a lot of times we fail in these areas because we no longer care about our community anymore.
Yeah.
And our families are so fractured and dysfunctional until it would be, in some cases, it would be unrealistic for you to try to, but then I feel like if you're caught in that limbo, you're finding yourself feeding the negative more, you got to ask yourself now, am I contributing to the problem or am I contributing to the solution? Right? And again, I'm talking about I enjoy entertainment across the whole spectrum, but any entertainment I have, I on some level has to be contributing to the solution. You know, the solution of helping us turn a lot of this bullshit around. I would like to ask you that same question.
I like that. So for me, I think it's a matter of the little thing that you can do is you can look at your family tree. Are you behaving and making similar choices and having a similar lifestyle of the individuals who raised you and raised them? And if you are, is that life successful? Is it benefiting you? Is it benefiting anyone else? Are your kids on the path that you want them to be on? Because if it is not, then it's time for you to do something different. It's time for you to break away from that family tree that's probably rotted out anyway, and start something new. Plant something new within your kids. Plant something new within yourself, and try a different path. Because this whole my mama did it, my daddy did it, my grandma did it, you know, this is just who we are. That whole attitude is dead. And that's that coonery shit. Because now you are off the plantation and you get to create your own. So you do not have to follow the path of everybody else in front of, well, everyone else that is behind you. You get to chart out your own. So do your personal work and free yourself from that raggedy family tree and start over. Do something different. That is the easiest way. Because if all of y'all can't hold down jobs, what you think's happening with your kids? If all of y'all can't talk, can't read, can't write, can't spell, what you think you doing? If all of y'all keep going in and out of jail, what you think you doing? So if your kid keep getting put out of school, what you think you putting into them? And I can't fix them, y'all. I can't fix them. I can only do a little bit. It's going to take you at home doing what you need to do to grow so your kid can grow.
Absolutely. This Manal came with, she was ready. She came out swinging today. She chose violence. And we will be here next week with another invigorating episode of the Walt.
I like invigorating. That's a good word.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow on Patreon, and you'll be able to see the Walt Bay Seduction. Take us away. Take us away. Take us away.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.